Jennifer Aniston, one of the most glamorous women in the world, she's been saying that her new fitness method, P-Volve, has transformed her body more than anything else she's ever tried.
And now the workout has been backed up by a study at Exeter University, which found that the regime helped women going through the menopause.
So in just a moment, Jennifer's trainer, Antonietta Vicario, is going to be showing us some of the exercises. Looking forward to trying that. First, though, Dr. Zoe's here to try and explain a little bit more about this study. So what have they found, Zoe?
So the University of Exeter, they do a lot of sports science studies, so a really good university to do this. And they enrolled 72 women between the ages of 40 and 60 who none of them were taking HRT, so that wouldn't affect the results. So some pre-menopausal, peri and post-menopausal women. And it's the first study of its kind because that's particularly what it was looking at as women go through the menopause transition. What I often get asked, what's the best form of exercise to do at that time of your life? It was a 12-week study where half of the women roughly did the P-Volve protocol and the other half followed the government guidelines of 150 minutes. And I'm really excited. I mean, it's worth mentioning it was funded by P-Volve, but I don't think that's these studies have to be done.
Yes.
It's really important that women, as well as men, are looked at and this research is done about what's going to help women. So I don't have an issue.
Just because they paid for the study doesn't mean they can control the results.
Exactly. They're not controlling the results. So worth mentioning, but that doesn't concern me. I think it's great that the study's been done. So what they found is with this particular protocol, it increased hip strength, increased muscle mass, so body weight stayed the same but muscle mass went up, increased balance, increased flexibility and increased quality of life. Wow. All things which we kind of tend to associate with menopause going down. So I think what it shows that a lot of these changes that we often think of as inevitable with menopause, loss of muscle mass, loss of bone mass. With this protocol, that's not the case. It's resistance training, it's based on Pilates, and I think what's so great about it is it's that combination of muscle strengthening, some cardiovascular elements, and a lot of unilateral, so using one side of the body, so that brings in a balance element as well. So great news.
So if you didn't want to do P-Volve, but you wanted to do something else yourself at home, what would be your tips?
So I would be looking at resistance training programmes, but this is low impact as well, which will encourage a lot of people. Resistance training programmes that incorporate those three elements: strength, balance and cardiovascular. And there's stuff available on YouTube that you can get for free. There are classes that you'll be able to go to in your local gyms. I think we'll probably see lots of classes popping up that are based on this. And, you know, the equipment package that you get from P-Volve is about 250 quid, and then it's £15 a month for their subscription. So the cost itself will motivate a lot of people to stick with it. Yeah. But for people who can't afford that, I think there'll be lots of alternatives that people can create themselves as well.
Sounds really positive, though, like you say, particularly for that study, the first of its sort. Well, so here you can sort that out. Women
need studies that support them to know how they themselves can look after themselves the best as they're going through this transition in life.
And it's even in the future as well, because it improves your balance, so you're less likely to fall, all of those things as well.
So the fact that it focused on hip strength particularly, because of course that is one of the big concerns as we go through menopause, is the risk of osteoporosis, the risk of falls if our balance isn't great, and then breaking a hip, which is drastically bad.
Yeah.
Good news, it sounds like. Well, should we give it a bit of a go?
Give it a go.
Give it a go. I think so.
OK, we're going to be giving it a go. We're chatting to one of Jennifer Aniston's trainers, Antonietta Vicario. Let's go over there now.
We're sneaking around here. Morning, Antonietta.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello, it's Kat and Ben here. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. I'm so happy to be here with you.
It's lovely to meet you. Could I just check what time is it there in New York at the moment?
I believe it is 7 a.m. over here.
Okay,
so the sun is coming through my window.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect time to exercise, Antonietta.
So what we're doing...
Exactly.
So what we're doing here is I've got the proper equipment. Ben has got the Blue Peter version.
Yeah,
You're going to improvise a bit.
Just to show you. So what exercise are you going to take us through, Antonietta?
Well, I'm going to take you through our resistance-based equipment. So I believe, Kat, you have the P-ball. You're going to move it over to the side and step 1 foot through. And then I believe you have a resistance band.
Yes.
So just go ahead and put that around your ankles. And like we were discussing, it really is resistance that helps to increase muscle mass.
Hold on, Kat's just struggling a set.
I've got boots on.
She's got boots and a jumpsuit, which isn't... There you go, that's it.
Should I take them
And just
off?
round our ankles, just round our ankles, not your knees.
Just around the ankles. Yes, yes. I know getting the equipment on is an exercise in itself, Kat. So you'll have this strap around the ankles and we're going to take a little sit back.
Yeah.
So you're loading into your glutes. And then I want you to step as wide as you can out with one foot and then the other.
Okay.
So
number 3.
Yeah.
So we're going
That's it from number 3
Number
to 9
3.
on that mat.
Number 9.
It's a big activation on your glutes, this, isn't it?
Big activation on the glutes. Let's see if we can step the feet a little bit wider there, Kat. This is 35 and a half pounds of resistance. So it's going to help you preserve muscle mass and strength, like we spoke about in menopause. Mass and strength declines by about 3 to 7% per decade, starting in the late 30s. So exercises like this, using that resistance, really helps to preserve that metabolic health, your metabolism.
How's your
glutes
feeling
there?
It's my thighs.
I can see your thighs are shaking.
Thighs, glutes, absolutely, yeah.
How long are the classes normally, Antonetta?
They are, should we move into another exercise?
Yes, please.
Yeah, my glutes have had enough.
Okay, so go ahead and take this off. The classes they range. So we really try to meet people wherever they are at. We're actually going to stay with the ball. I think, Ben, you might have a football. If viewers at home are joining, they can use a pillow and fold the pillow up. We're going to take the ball right behind the back, right at the base of the shoulder blades. So from there, once you have the football band, a doubled up cushion at home, or the ball, hands behind the thighs.
That feels good.
You're going to look up at the ceiling and then exhale, pull your navel in and curl your ribs up, hollowing out the abdominals. And if you want a challenge, try hands behind the head. So inhale back, exhale up. To answer your question, Kat, we have workouts from 10, 15 minutes all the way up to an hour. We know people are often starved for time. So yes, you can find something that meets you where you're at. You know, gentle consistency is the philosophy. So getting any type of movement in is going to be better than none. People can also work out with us live on Zoom, just like you're doing now. We have a live virtual studio, and about 60 studios throughout the US and Canada. Some are open and some are in development. So, you know, people can work out with us live as well.
Antonietta, how often does Jen do this? Because she looks incredible.
I know, she is so incredible, and she's just getting stronger and stronger. She works out with us 4 times a week.
Wow.
She has a trainer there in LA, my colleague Danny, who is amazing. And when she's on the road, she joins us in our on-demand. So it's a subscription-based service. You can, again, work out with us anytime, anywhere. You know, our equipment really is unique in the sense that all of the exercises have very specific amounts of resistance, pounds of resistance in mind. So, you know, I would definitely encourage viewers, if they can, to get the equipment, because it is part of the findings.
The interesting thing, though, Antonietta, is I'm just using like a small football that people had at home. I had this resistance band. You don't have, I mean, you can find stuff to do with this at home that perhaps you don't have to spend all the money on your bundle. It still works just as efficiently and just as well.
Yeah, it works. I would say it works well, probably not as efficiently. However, absolutely. There's also no equipment workouts too. Using your own body weight in some exercises is effective as well, and dumbbells too. So weight training is a huge part of what we do to help combat that loss of mass and strength that we experience in the menopause transition. And the movements themselves prioritize, like you were saying, mobility, so helping your joints prevent injury, really the movements taking your joints through their full range of motion, so that we're not experiencing some of the musculoskeletal conditions that people experience as they're aging. We have another study that actually shows P-valve reduces lower back pain. So, you know, it's really science-backed and just an incredible way of working.
Well, look, we've loved the experience of trying a little bit of it, and thank you so much for getting up to share a little bit of your expertise as well.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank
Bye.
Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
I want you to tell that story. Anthony's new show, No Taste Like Home, comes to Disney Plus on the 24th of February. He is here to tell us all about it. He started during that clip talking about Florence.
Yes. So
She's one of your guests.
she's one of my guests and now one of my ultimate crushes. I think she's bringing me to back to the other side, if I'm honest. I watched Little Women before, so I was like really intimidated before, like palms sweaty. And day one, we're there rolling in the hills of like northern England and Yorkshire, and we learned about Yorkshire pudding and this like braised lamb.
Yeah.
And we had the dish there. We were ready to eat it, and we're waiting for utensils to come in. And she was like, yeah. Grabs it with her hand, straight to her face, oil dribbling everywhere. I'm like, this is a woman after my own heart. And that's who she is through and through.
We love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen the trailer. I haven't seen any of the series yet because it isn't out yet.
Right.
It looks sensational. It's a bit of travel, bit of cooking, some great charismatic people. Tell us a bit about it.
Frankly, it's the biggest scam in history because I basically had Nat Geo fund my international travels to places that I normally wouldn't be able to go to. But it's incredible. I mean, I get to continue on Queer Eye. I learned the power of telling stories and diverse stories through food. And we get to do that in a global way right now. We do it with these amazing celebrities who people know as concepts, but to get to know them as individuals, they're used to scripts and going on a set and having a certain schedule. But on this show, they had no idea what they were signing up for every day. And they were every single one of them was truly game for it. So every single day was a surprise.
So who have you taken and where did you go?
So James Marsden in Texas, and then we went to
He came in here a few
Bavaria.
weeks ago. He was lovely.
Talking about Jury Duty and Sonic.
Legend.
Yeah.
And then Florence, obviously, in northern England, which was amazing. Issa Rae in Senegal. Henry Golding in Borneo, in the jungle.
What was that like?
They have wild ferns, wild Japanese eggplant, torch ginger, which I didn't even know was a thing that existed.
Torch ginger?
Because his mother's side comes from an indigenous tribe called the Iban. So that was fascinating to explore. They live in these beautiful longhouses and like the sense of community there. Aquafina, Nora from Crazy Rich Asians, and Nora from Queens. Justin Theroux in northern Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just an epic adventure, truly.
Wow. And did you go to them with the idea or did they come to you?
It depends. Some of them I had personal relationships with, but I always had a Zoom with them before just to kind of like get their vibe. But it's tricky because it was 3 to 6 months research for every single episode. Because we're doing really like the research team at Studio Ramsey, who was our producing partner for it. And they did all the work, and then they were all game for it.
Love it. You got them to do the work then, but we're going to get you to do the work now.
Yes.
Anthony,
Can we
you're going to
Let's go.
create something for us. What have we got to look forward to?
So originally, I actually wanted to make a beautiful vanilla milkshake, but I decided to pivot last minute in honor of your first guest. But so we pivoted to tortellini and brodo instead, which we learned in Emilia-Romagna, which was our venture with Justin. So I'll start with the technical. It starts out with the classic sfogliato, which is just flour, semolina, double O flour, and egg.
Yeah.
And then basically you just cut through. The grandma, actually, if you watch the scene, was basically telling Justin and I how to make it. And so you have to go quickly down and go down like this. And then basically you cut it into like a perfect little grid. I completely scrapped that. Yeah. But basically you take one.
Yeah.
All right, I could have gone a little tougher. That's okay.
So you got to serrate the edge.
I was just being really gentle.
Lovingly
There you
cutting
go.
the pasta.
And so you take this tiny little ball, and then you put it in, flip it over, and then crimp. And what's interesting about this is like the most traditional Emilia-Romagna dish from Cento and from Bologna, and they're perfect like this. Although your crew did a much better job than I did.
Wow.
I had a version of this growing up being Polish, which was basically borscht, which is like a beet consommé, but we fill these with wild mushrooms. So it's interesting how like wherever you travel, depending on where you are, like the ingredients change, but these elements kind of like, they all get repeated around the world, which is kind of like really beautiful.
When did you first start cooking? Who taught you?
So I was raised in a very matriarchal household. So I watched my mother, but I always sat on the other end of the kitchen counter when she and my sisters would cook. But I kind of like took in all that information. And then when I was, left to my own devices as a 17-year-old in college, I remembered that like I kind of had that as like muscle memory. So then I started creating meals for like roommates, and
Yeah.
then we had like study groups and things. So I kind of like, I learned from YouTube basically.
Okay.
So look, what I've just lifted up this. Are these ones you want us to have a go with?
So yeah, these are, oh yeah, please, if you want. So these are basically perfect. They're still wet enough.
Anthony.
You haven't seen this show before.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
In terms of cooking.
I don't have fingers for very delicate.
So you press it
crimping,
like this so
crimping.
that it looks like a perfect cannoli.
Okay.
You're crushing it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I am literally
Literally
crushing it.
Yeah, you're crushing it.
And then
literally, and there you go. And then you crimp it. Exactly.
See if Dealey does this. It'll be
Look
so
how-
delicate and
look how
perfect. Look at my
delicate
little.
you
If it gets
Aw.
dry, you just dab your fingers with a little bit of water.
Okay. And then once I've done that,
And then, so there are two schools of thought. What the Nonna taught us is basically to put your index finger here and then crimp it like this.
Oh,
It's a very
index in the
forgiving
middle.
dough. Yeah. And then these tiny little, cute little purses.
hold
these little
up.
pockets.
Hold
And
up.
then what do we do
Now,
next,
that's not
Anthony?
bad.
That's not bad. Well
That's
done.
really good.
Hey.
10 out of 10.
Thank you. You see what I did? I asked for some help, Kat Dealey.
You
Secret to good flirting.
Are you flirting? So then what do we do? Do we leave them for a little while or do we...
You can let them dry a little bit, and
Yeah.
then in a sort of hot broth, this is a mix of chicken and beef broth.
Yes.
You just plop them in,
Yep.
and then basically, I'm just going to use my hands. These
Yeah,
are dried
nice.
up perfectly, so
So
they're
you
nice
let them
Yeah.
dry quite significant. That's much.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
They're
bit
hard, aren't
firmer.
they? Yeah.
Because this
Yeah.
is a labor of love that takes all day. It's
okay.
a typical dish of Ferragosto, which is a harvest festival in Cento and in Bologna. And you basically throw them in 2 to 3 minutes, and they're going to float up. They're going to tell you when they're ready. So
Okay.
there's no tasting.
So when they
or
float, that's
testing.
time to go.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And then what happens next?
And then, basically, here we have some more broth.
Yeah.
And then we have some here that were par cooked. If you're cooking for a group and you don't want them to separate because you want them to stick together,
Yeah.
you can put them in a bowl after they're cooked, and then you can just basically ladle some on right over here.
Wow.
And this, you have to
That
tune into the
looks
show to
delicious.
kind of understand the importance of this dish and the significance, but this was the dish that Justin came to us, because every single person on the show comes to us.
Don't
with a
leave it
dish
over
that
there. Can we
shaped-
try it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Keep
There you
talking
go.
about the show, but I've got to try this. You've so lovingly
So
made.
this is the dish that Justin threw. I'm going to get you your own bowl, don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah.
This is the dish that Justin remembered that his grandmother taught him that she would make at Christmas. So we went on a journey through northern Italy to figure out where this dish came from.
Wow.
And it started out in this little village of Piacenza, and we ended up in Bologna. It was a whole journey.
I can't wait to see it. Anthony's new show, No Taste Like Home, starts Wednesday, 26th of Feb at 10 p.m. on the National Geographic Channel. I'm going to
Correct.
try some
And
of
it's
that.
delicious. Absolutely love
Is
it.
it
Is it
good?
good?
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I'm
Thank you
gonna
for
try some of-
visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Being a backbench MP could be such a jet-set lifestyle. Just last week, it started in the US capital of Washington, D.C. The Nigel Farage journey ended in his constituency of Clacton-on-Sea.
This Friday marks 5 years since Brexit came into effect, and whether you voted to leave, remain, or you didn't vote at all, few would question Nigel Farage's role in Britain's decision to leave the European Union.
And the leader of the Reform UK party joins us in the studio this morning. Nigel, thank you for joining us.
Good
this morning.
morning.
Good
Morning.
to have you. You've had a very, very busy time of it the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I wonder, when you reflect on the fact that it is 5 years on Friday since Brexit happened, did you expect to be here now doing this?
No. I mean, I got into politics from business because I thought we should be an independent country, run our own affairs, control our own borders, do our own things, choose our own friends around the world. So if you'd asked me 5 years ago where I'd be today, retired is the answer. But I've come back into politics because it's frankly not been delivered the way that I saw.
No, you're in agreement with the British public there. When it goes to the latest YouGov polling, do you think Brexit has gone well or badly? Very badly, 34%. Only 2 think very well. And then the EU referendum, if it was held tomorrow, the majority of Britons, 55%, would vote to remain.
Well, I think given a campaign, they wouldn't, because if they actually saw the mess that France and Germany are in, I mean, you think things are bad here, have a look at what's happening in Europe. So I doubt that would happen. The disappointment is this. Millions of people voted in that referendum who don't normally vote at all in general elections, and they could see what was happening in Britain. The population exploding because of open borders and, you know, the problems getting GP appointments, getting houses, all of those things. So with Brexit, they thought, right, we're actually going to put a limit on the numbers coming in. And what happened? Under 5 years of Conservative government, the numbers went through the roof. So there is some real disappointment. There are other areas such as foreign policy, where we stand in the world, where there's no doubt Brexit has benefited us. But on that, and anyone watching this programme, you know, who's got their own business, they expected regulations to get easier. They've probably got harder. So look, I'm as disappointed with the way it's been delivered as anybody, and that's why I'm sitting here today. That's why I've come back into it. We need to finish the job.
How was the inauguration? You've got the socks to prove that you were
I
there,
do.
Nigel. Those are actual inauguration socks.
I got them on a merch store, along with hats and scarves and everything else. It was, honestly, it was so upbeat. I mean, the weather was terrible, but it was so optimistic. I will never forget, you know, the victory rally on the eve of inauguration, and there's Trump. And, you know, village people come on stage, and he's dancing on stage with them. And
It's the same village people that, you know, tried to sue him for the previous campaign because he was using.
Yeah, well, they're very happy now. They're back at #1 in America, and they're very, very happy indeed. And then, you know, signing presidential orders and chucking the pens into the crowd. And you can like him, you can loathe him, but he's won fair and square. And there is, I mean, literally, from taxi drivers to bartenders to waitresses, everyone's saying, this feels great, we're making money, the economy's going well, and the contrast with how people feel here today is quite extraordinary.
You said the weather was terrible, so of course it had to be moved inside.
Yeah.
You didn't make the cut, though, for the inside.
No, I didn't. Well, I'm not a former...
In your own words.
Yeah, no, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But it was a shame, because normally, you know, the president swearing, top of Capitol Hill, hundreds of thousands of people. But, yeah, I think if they'd done it, people would have died. It really was that cold.
It was that cold.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Trump's opinion of England now? We heard that he was on the plane and he had a 45-minute phone call with Keir Starmer. He said that he's doing a good job. It seemed like the Mutual Appreciation Society, actually. They seem to quite like each other.
Look, be in no doubt, this is the most pro-British president we're ever likely to see.
Were you surprised he said that he thought that Starmer's doing a very good job?
He's much politer than people think. You know, if he disagrees with Starmer on something big, we will hear about it. But no, he's pro-British. His mother was from the Western Isles. He loves the royal family. He's got golf courses over here. He likes our music. He likes our films. And in many ways, if you think about it, American culture and British culture are now almost one of the same things. So, look, we're very lucky to have him. He wants to have a good relationship with us. He loves the fact we've got Brexit, because that means we're free to negotiate trade deals with him that we couldn't have done as EU members. So the Prime Minister has a big choice to make. You know, how close does he want to get to Brussels? How close does he want to get to America? You know, what's the right position for him? And I would just say this. Europe's getting poorer. America's getting richer. We should bear that in mind.
You, while you were out there, of course, we saw a lot of Elon Musk on the stage with the president. He's key to the president's new regime, of course, and cabinet. Have you had a chance to smooth things over? Because I know that...
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to him and we're on perfectly friendly terms. I mean, look, he and I fell out on something. He encouraged me to do something that I didn't agree with. And do you know what? I make my own mind up in life. I don't get pushed around. I don't get bullied. Even by the richest man on earth, I stick my ground.
Did he accept that what your stance on this was the right stance to have? Because he was trying to support Tommy Robinson?
Yeah, I mean, he sees Tommy Robinson as a free speech hero for talking out about grooming gangs. And quite right that people should talk out on grooming gangs. It's one of the most appalling things that's happened in any of our lifetimes. My reservation about Robinson is that the way he talks about Islam, it's as if he wants to go to war with everybody of the Islamic faith. He's a long criminal record. All I've said is, look, let Mr. Robinson do what he does. I'm running a political party. We intend to win the next general election. He would not be an asset to us. So, you know, we see things differently, but look...
So would you be happy to accept Elon Musk's support and financial support? Because I think in the past he suggested...
We are going to get Elon's support. Of that, I have no doubt at all.
And you're happy to align him? Because he's been in Germany, he's been popping up with the far right in Germany as well.
No, I mean, look...
You don't mind that?
No two people agree on everything. And, you know, Musk believes in free speech. I believe in free speech. That means we can agree on things, but disagree on things.
But at some point, I would imagine there are some elements that you think I don't necessarily want to align that sort of ideology free speech or not, with what my party represents.
I take that point. I mean, equally, I haven't got an electric car, you know. I mean, we all look at the world in different ways. Look, whatever we think of Musk's views, he's a hero. He's a hero. Buying Twitter, bringing free speech back to the internet where it almost evaporated. I mean, remember, during lockdown, if you criticised government lockdowns, you were being suspended from Facebook or whatever it is. I also think what he's done with SpaceX, I mean, this is an incredible guy.
Yeah, but there is... Well, you can't deny, though, Nigel, that a lot of these big tech companies, a lot of the social media companies have a responsibility to what is being put onto those platforms.
Of course.
Particularly in, like, the Southport atrocities that happened out there, and some of those videos and films were still on those platforms.
They shouldn't be there, and they're on too many of those platforms.
So when you describe Musk as a hero, when it's his platform that still has some of those videos on there...
and TikTok had it up there, and Facebook had it up there.
Agreed, but he's, along with all of them, they all are responsible for that.
Ben, I fully accept that point, you know, but I do think what these platforms have given ordinary citizens is a chance to express their opinions, to debate them with an audience, and overall, yes, there are downsides, overall, they're more of a force for good than bad.
Do you think that there will ever come a time where you'll join with the Conservatives, with the Tories?
No, I think we're going to become... Well, we are now bigger than the Conservatives. There are several opinion polls, and all right...
But you can't win without...
They've been around for 194 years, right? We've been around properly for a few months.
Yeah.
I get that. Remember, in 1918, the Liberals were the party of government.
Yeah.
The men returning from the First World War and their widows at home made Labour the second biggest and then the biggest party in this country. We might be at one of those once-in-a-100-year moments when something fundamentally changes. And all I can tell you about reform is we've got an optimistic agenda for the future of this country. We want a big cultural change. We're not stuffed with career politicians. We're people from all different walks of life. We've got a booming membership. And who knows? I think something big's happening.
Go on, sorry.
No, go on.
In terms of getting into power, though, you've already said you can see yourselves winning the next election. That would come about with some sort of alliance along the way?
Not necessarily. No, we are... Look...
So you think you can do it on your own?
The rise in reform in the last few months, putting us second or even first in a couple of opinion polls, most of that's come from Labour. It hasn't come from the Conservatives. We can pick up votes from across the political spectrum. So we're aiming for the stars. We're going all out to win. And, you know, in 3 or 4 years' time, I'll be proved right or wrong.
So, aiming for the stars,
Yep.
going all out to win.
Yep.
Keys to number 10?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously that would be exciting, although I'm not sure living in that flat upstairs would really suit with 2 Labradors, but, you know...
But you'd like to be Prime Minister?
Do you know, I didn't come into politics with ambition for position. I did it to try and change things. And if in a few years' time, and Reform wins the election, if I'm still the best person to do it, of course I'd do it.
It's interesting, and because, of course, we've interviewed you, I've interviewed you plenty of times over the years. 2015, you spoke to a good colleague of mine, Kate Garraway, on Good Morning Britain, and she asked you this question. It'll be interesting to get your thoughts on this. This is what you said back then.
Would you like to be Prime Minister?
I don't think that's my role in life. I don't think I'd be very good at it either.
Wouldn't be very good at it back in 2015.
Well, I'm older and more mature and grown up.
Is that what's changed, do you think?
In 2015, I was in politics for a cause. And that was, as I say, to free our country from the European Union. I've come back into it because I actually think the way we're governed across many, many issues isn't working. Right now, at this moment in time, I think I'm the best person to turn that round. If someone better than me comes along, I'll recognise it.
I think you've always been very honest about how you're seen by people. You've described yourself in the past as a bit of a Marmite character. Certainly back in 2015, what you were standing for. Has there been a shift from your perspective, just in terms of trying to come more centrally and being less Marmite? Are you Marmite without added salt?
I think 2 things have happened, really. One, the things that I talked about, like the population explosion, when I said them 10 years ago, people went, oh, dear, this is all a bit too difficult. And actually now the vast majority of people think we've got a problem with our borders. Secondly, well, I'm going to say this because I'm here with ITV. I think going into the jungle actually really helped how people saw me, because you can't for 24 days in the jungle hide who you really are. And I think, you know, you read perhaps things in newspapers or online that are said about me by political opponents, then you see me in the jungle and people thought, well, actually, perhaps he's not quite the monster that we thought that he was. So I do believe that going into the jungle last year has been a major contributory factor to where reform is today. And by the way, I thoroughly enjoyed doing it.
Did you really?
I did.
Even the trials, Nigel? That can't be true.
The trials were tough. But I'll let you into a secret.
Go on.
The week before I went into the jungle, I went to see Paul McKenna. To say, look, I am not looking... I did.
What did you do?
I thought, I'm not looking forward to snakes or spiders. I don't want to scream on television in front of millions of people. And Paul taught me a few tricks of the mind that you can use to overcome fear, and it worked.
And it worked.
Can you do that in politics as well?
I'm not frightened of anything in politics.
And we could have our first Prime Minister then, in your eyes, that's done a Bush-Tucker trial.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's an interesting idea for the Great British public, isn't it?
Just shows you how politics is changing.
You were 60 last year.
I was.
I mean, it's a moment in anybody's lifetime, and of course you've come back into politics. You're leading this party that we're seeing the membership, according to certain numbers, surging. Is that the most important thing happening in your life?
No. Last summer, within 3 weeks of each other, I had 2 grandsons born, and that matters more than anything. That was the highlight of last year, and that means more than anything else.
How does that affect your view on things when you've suddenly got grandchildren?
Yeah, in the future.
Well, you obviously, become reflective, that you've lived more of your life than you've got to go.
Yeah.
That kind of strikes home. A sense of continuity, something for the future. And I hope one day, as they grow up a little bit, to have time to spend with them. And probably turn out to be a better grandparent than I was as a parent.
Yeah,
and I think many people feel that.
Yeah.
What do they call you? Is it Gramps, Grandad?
Well, they're only 9 months old at the moment.
What's the name that's being projected?
Oh, I think it's probably going to be Gramps or something like that.
Gramps.
But I don't mind what it is. No, that was the highlight of last year. It really was. And as I said to you at the start of this chat, if you said to me 5 years ago, where would I be? Honestly, I thought I'd be retired, and I've thrown myself back into it. And it's hard work, but I'm enjoying it.
He's even got the socks.
He's even got the socks.
He's even got the socks to prove. We've got a quick fire round for you now.
Gosh,
is that all right?
Yeah.
OK. Would you be a faithful or a traitor?
Oh, traitor, I think, definitely.
Why?
Far more fun to be naughty.
Did you watch Traitors this time?
I've watched clips of it, bits of it. It's obviously a massive success. Yeah, well done. It's brilliant.
Would you go on a celebrity version?
Do you know what? If I had the time to do it, I'd love to.
Never say never. OK, this one. Trump or Tice?
Oh, gosh, that's not fair, is it, really?
The choice, Trump or Tice?
Have to be Tice, wouldn't it?
Have to be Tice.
Have to be Tice, no question.
Even though he's gone to Dubai? He's out in Dubai?
He hasn't gone to Dubai. Don't believe all you read in the newspapers. He was in the House of Commons yesterday. He'll be there today.
Semi-skimmed or full fat?
Oh, please. What is the point of a proper pot of tea that I make with loose tea every morning with semi-skimmed milk? Absolute waste of time.
All the fat.
Zen life.
Washington, D.C. or Clacton-on-Sea?
Got to be Clacton.
How do you feel about the dubbing? The Clacton Gazette, I think, has called you 9 jobs Nige. There's a suggestion maybe that you gallivant a bit too much.
Well, I've gallivanted all my life. That isn't going to stop, I can promise you.
Well, for the constituents of Clacton, they'd quite like to feel like...
I did the biggest business surgery last Friday, straight back from Washington, that any MP's ever done in that constituency and probably will ever do again. And I'm thoroughly enjoying doing the job. And do I have a successful company that operates and earns income from a variety of things? Yeah. And you know what? I claim 0 expenses as an MP. 0. Nothing. I don't claim for my gas bill in the way that, Rachel Reeves does or others. I don't claim any travel expenses. I claim 0 expenses. Yes, I have income outside of politics. But you know what? Maybe we need more people in politics who know how to make money.
Keir or Kemi?
Score draw.
Score draw. We'll see.
No, I mean, I have to say, Keir is very polite. I don't see any malice in him at all as a person. I disagree fundamentally with the direction he's taking the country. But I'm not going to sit here and abuse the Prime Minister.
Do you think you're more aligned with what Kemi stands for?
I'm aligned with what Kemi says, but not with what Kemi does.
Right.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. Boris, Kemi, all the others came in with a whopping great big majority in 2019, which I assisted them with, and then did the opposite of what they told the public. And I'm afraid I see her in that camp.
You've already told us you're a big fan of ITV and ITV shows. So the Woolpack or the Rovers?
The Rovers. Proper.
Lemon and herb or extra hot?
Extra hot.
Extra hot. You're Nando's
Gotta
fan.
be. Gotta be.
Definitely.
Gotta be.
Ant or Deck?
No, I like them both. I'm sorry, I can't pick. It was no. They're sort of.
So you've scored draw with
They're
Kieran,
a bit
King, you
like-
scored
And
more
Ant
Ant and Deck.
I mean, they're a bit like the modern Morecambe and Wise, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around now for a long
Everyone's
time.
got a favourite, though.
Bring me
No,
sunshine.
I don't. I found both of them in the jungle, treated me fine.
And one last one. Downing Street or Down Under, Nigel?
Well, Down Under was great fun. I think Downing Street will have its own share of snakes and serpents, but it's got to be number 10.
Well, look, we really appreciate you coming in and
you.
seeing us. Thank you for joining us today. And those socks are spectacular.
It's got a hat to match.
And you got the hat too.
Should have worn a window.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Can't help it. I have to join in with that bit. Mark Hamill is here now alongside Roz the robot. How are you both?
I am happy to have come. No task is impossible for Rosm 7134.
Nice to see you, Roz. I'm glad you're here.
It is good to see a friend. I have been completing my task as a wild robot.
So good. I mean, I have to say, so we've watched it twice now
Okay.
in our household.
yeah.
My kids are right in your sweet spot. They're 9
Okay.
and they're 6.
Yeah.
And we adored this movie. And now my big boy is reading the book too. When you first read it, what did you think?
Well, that's what I did. I ordered the book as soon as they expressed interest, and I was just blown away. I said, it's no surprise that it's been on the New York Times bestseller list for years and it's won all these awards. It's got appeal across the board. It's so life-affirming and optimistic, and it's obviously the ultimate fish out of water story. This high-tech robot gets dropped into the wilderness, but and the cast, I mean, Lupita is just marvelous. I mean, the way she is so dispassionate and becomes slightly more human, she makes a real journey. My character, not so much, but...
Well, it's interesting because Roz said it's nice to see a friend. Your character and Roz aren't necessarily friends at the start of the film.
No, and that's another thing. I love the way the messages come across effortlessly. You're not hit over the head, but you realize, it's about community. It's about coming together in adverse circumstances, you know, because there's strength in numbers.
Had you played a grizzly bear before, Mark?
Well, you know the thing about voiceover, I mean, we stopped counting at 1,200 jobs. But I've been doing it since, I don't know, the early 90s. And what I love about voiceover is they cast with their ears.
Right.
Not their eyes. So you're going to get roles that you would never get to play if you were on camera. I'm much too short to play the Joker, but and that's what's so wonderful. I never got to do dialects on camera, but in voiceover, I've done Australian, I've done Standard English, Cockney. For some reason, if it's an Australian character, they hire an Australian actor. Unless you're Meryl Streep. She's the only one that's allowed to do accents.
She traverses.
Yeah. It's a SAG rule.
And when you saw the movie for the first time, were you blown away? Because to me, it doesn't look like every other animation film that I've seen before.
Well, I was really thrilled because when I read the book, I thought, oh, if they can capture even 30% of the appeal, this is really going to be great. And the first time I saw footage is when I went in for my third session. And I saw footage of, oh, great, they've kept the illustration. It looks like a painting come to life.
Yeah, it really does.
So, yeah, it's just got a really original look to it. And you're talking about your children. I have much older children, especially the two older boys who are like, Dad, it's not for me. And all you have to do is see it. I mean, the revelation for me, because I'd seen it twice in a screening room. Then I got to see it with a live audience at the Toronto Film Festival.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, having done theater, I can gauge audiences, and they were with us right from the start.
Yeah.
Laughed at all the right places. They were having a grand old time. And when the lights came up, there were a lot of people, you know,
in tears. Oh, it's so moving. The whole thing is properly moving.
I mean, I can cast cross having a classic animated film off my bucket list, and I'm just lucky to be even a small part of it.
But you must, I mean, you as an actor, you love the ensemble of working with other actors and they're bouncing. And of course, this is put together in a voiceover booth. Were you playing against the others, or was it just you and the animation?
I was recorded separately. So I didn't even meet Pedro or Kid or any of them until we did an event in San Diego to promote it. So I met them all for the first time. And, you know, I'm used to working both ways. I was a little bit spoiled because in the Batman days, if there were 33 characters, there were 33 actors.
Wow.
And you started on page one and you read it through like a radio play, which is really helpful because like musicians, you hear other people's rhythms and sort of alternate, you know, you adjust to, or there's an unexpected line reading, which changes your line reading. So, but more and more, they are recording us separately. I think they like having maximum control. And when you get too many actors together,
you're hard to control, that's for sure.
And do you still get people coming up to you and asking you to do bits of it, like the Joker laugh or...
Well, with the Joker, in the beginning, even my friend said, that's not you, or they're treating your voice.
Yeah.
You go to the grocery store and people would demand that you do the voice, or you're in the airport, do the Joker. And, you know, you'd have to sit back, why, thank you, you know.
Do the laugh, do the laugh.
Well, you know, one thing about the laugh, you got to warm up.
Oh.
You know, because I did one Broadway musical and I thought, you know, it's just a technical thing that you have to do. I would warm up for the Joker driving from where I live in Malibu into the Valley, which is almost an hour, you know, doing the... Now, in Los Angeles, a single person in a car laughing hysterically, it's just another thing. It doesn't draw any attention whatsoever. But, you know, I made the mistake one time of not warming up, I don't know, for a matinee, and I learned the hard way because I got really hoarse and we still had another show. Ethel Merman apparently was the only one that they would say, when are you going to warm up? And she says, in Act 1, you know, in that Ethel Merman voice. But, yeah, I'm just, look, I'm not, Lupita should be here, but I'm just so pleased to be a part of something that is making people so happy. Yeah. It's the ultimate in escapism.
Yeah.
And boy, do we need it now.
Oh, don't we just? It's and it's been nominated for Oscars as well, which is an exciting thing for all of you and the crew.
That's another thing. Chris Bowers, who did the music, he's this young guy, 30-something guy. That's one thing that you couldn't get from the book. It's the music. Yeah. It surges at the right time. I didn't really pay attention to. I singled out the score like the second or third time I saw it, and he does just a great job. And of course, Chris, the director, he's the writer and the director. And you know, I loved How to Train Your Dragon. He did, and Lilo and Stitch. He did. But this one just is one of my favorites of all time.
But it's so funny when you say one of my favourites of all time is Star Wars. Yeah. And now I'm getting to see it again.
Share it with your boys.
Through my boys' eyes. And they still love it, even without all the special effects that they're so used to. What is it about it, do you think?
Well, when I read it, I thought, well, this is almost like Wizard of Oz with a gender switch for Luke, Dorothy, where he's swept away from his boring farm life into this fantastic world. There's a wizard, there's a pirate, there's a princess, there's the scary guy in the black mask. I said, this is really a fairy tale rather than science fiction. I mean, science fiction is usually very, very dry, and that movie had humor. It was really funny. Yeah. The robots were funny. Yeah. I mean, arguing over whose fault it is. You don't get that in 2001.
You and Harrison together as well. It's just and Carrie. You were like the trio.
Yeah, and I had gone to Africa to do the early part, and when I came back, Harrison came, and he was just, you know, too cool for school. We immediately fell into our roles where he's like the older brother mentor and I idolize him. And then the final piece of the puzzle, Carrie coming over, and she was just I couldn't. She was 19.
You were like brother and sister a little bit, weren't you?
Yeah,
With the dynamic.
in many ways, because we would get along great, and then we have huge arguments. I'm sick of you. Get out of my trailer. You know? And then you come back together. She was a real original.
It must be lovely in many ways because the Star Wars universe has grown so exponentially over the last few years. You know, there's so many different versions of it. There's so many different TV shows. Do you still enjoy talking about it, Mark? Is it one of those things that can become an albatross, or is it something you're so proud of?
The only difficult thing is that I saw all the movies the year they came out,
right,
but I don't go back and watch them again. So these kids come up to me, or grown-ups come up to me, and they know way more about it than I do. So when you went to the Wookiee planet of Kazizik, I said, what? Did we go to the Wookiee planet? Oh, it wasn't in a movie. It was in a novel, Splinter of the Mind's Eye. They've seen it many more times than I have, and they've seen it more recently than I have. So it winds up being me learning from them.
Sure.
Because they know it so much more than I do. I try and keep up. I mean, they asked me to be on The Mandalorian, so we binged that. Same with Book of Boba Fett. Binge that. My son is the one that really is the Star Wars fan, Nathan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nathan, by the way, was born in England.
Okay.
In St. John's Wood when we were doing Empire Strikes Back.
Really?
Yeah, so
he's North
I have
London
a real
boy.
love of this country because I've done so many films here and we lived here for years on end. And then, of course, having a child here.
Yeah. And do you think we could see Luke again in a Star Wars movie? In some capacity?
No. Look, I had my time. I'm very grateful for George letting me be a part of it, but I think it's time to let the kids take over.
You say that. You say that, Mark. I don't think we're going to let you.
I could be a floating head in the glass.
You could be
I don't know.
Yes, you could. That's
well,
the magical thing about it.
I had such closure, you know? I find it the irony of Luke dying of an overdose of the Force. Who knew that was a thing?
So just think about how he can come back then.
You know, Obi-Wan should have said, use the Force in moderation.
Yoda would have said that, I think.
Use the Force, but don't overdo it. You know, Yoda, they should have told me. There was no warning. Who knew you could OD on the Force?
I can OD on the Force all day, every day.
I could sit here talking to you all day.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Of course.
It's lovely to share
So
some thoughts.
lovely.
And to meet Roz, and we love the film.
The movie's incredible. Go and see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to promote because it's hard to describe, but if you look at the trailer and have a good time.
Won't be a dry eye in the house. Thank you.
May the Force be with you, but not too much.
In moderation.
Moderation.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. Oh, the drama. She proved herself faithful right until the very end. We're joined by one of this year's winners, Leanne Quigley. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
I mean, albeit sort of not calm, because this is a slightly different experience, but calmer than that.
Much calmer than that.
Was one of the most tense things I've ever experienced. What was it like watching it back?
It was just the most nervy thing I've ever done in my life. Those last moments was just horrific. I mean, finding out just before Jake revealed that he was a faithful, that Frankie and Alexander were both faithfuls, broke my heart. So in that moment, and Jake, you know, played his little trick on me. He wanted me to think that he was a traitor. I really thought in that moment, wow, I've made such a huge mistake.
Well, because you could actually see your hands shaking. I mean, you were physically... It was so tense.
It was so tense.
But you'd played an absolute blinder.
Thank you.
Like, the whole thing, turning up, dressed all in pink, saying you were a manicure. Like, how did you keep up that level of subterfuge through the whole thing?
It was difficult. It was harder than I thought. I mean, I wasn't expecting all throughout the girls asking me, oh, tell me about your salon, you know. You know, what do you think of my nails? Can we come get our nails done after? I'm like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, wow, this is a lot.
When did you create that as an idea? Do you sit down with some friends and family and go, what am I going to do? What shall I do?
Yeah, I mean, Sophie helped me a lot. I mean, my partner, you know, she's not the girliest of girls, so she wasn't the best at. She never gets her nails done. But luckily, Soph's sister owns a salon down the road with her best friend. So I'm in there all the time and they're all gorgeous. And yeah, one of the girls helped me. She sat down. She was like, this is what I charge for this. This is what I charge for this. And I was like, fab.
It's brilliant. Your research, I love it.
I did all of it.
But your background is in the military. What's your position? What was your position?
So I left the army as a corporal.
Wow.
Yeah, section commander.
So all of those challenges that you were doing, the really tough one, where you were rowing or you were in the helicopter, you'd done stuff like... How did you manage to keep that a secret?
They were my favourite parts of the whole game, the missions. You know, it was a break away from the game, and it was just so enjoyable to have that time out of the game and just get really stuck in and, you know, all have fun together during the missions. But, you know, I initially went in and I thought, OK, I'm going to hold back a little bit.
Yeah, because you can't show how good you are.
Yeah, but then it's so hard to do that because, you know, throughout my whole military career, you get told, do your best, you know, work your hardest. So when I'm in the missions, I can't help but put my all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that's really interesting is watching, because all of you go in knowing it's a game.
Yeah.
And you all say, I'm not going to take it personally, it's not going to be a personal thing.
Yeah.
But then when you're sitting there in that round table, it feels like you're all taking it very personally.
Yeah, I can't even explain how tense the round tables are. I mean, it's not a natural environment, is it, to sit around a round table and just, you know, directly accuse each other of being a murderer. You know, it's not a normal thing in life. So, you know, when you're being accused of being a traitor, it's a lot. It's really difficult, you know, and those round tables go on for a long time.
And you never were, though. You never became a traitor. You've been faithful all the way through.
Faithful all the way through.
Do you wish, in a way, that maybe you had a chance to be a traitor? Or I mean, obviously you won, so it's hard to look back on it.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think you would have been good?
At the beginning, I really wanted to be a traitor.
When you're talking
I really did. And when Armani got banished, I thought, oh, I hope I get recruited. And I never did. But, you know, more towards the end of the game, I thought, I could never be a traitor, because the friendships that you build with each other and the connections, they're real. You know, everyone in the castle are just amazing. The friendships we have are just beautiful.
But some of them you can't trust.
Some of them you just can't trust. Yeah, I could never have imagined getting to the end game and being a traitor, knowing that these guys were actually faithful and taking it from them.
There's that moment, sorry,
Go on,
Kat, there's that
go.
moment, though, where Frankie got the power of the seer.
Oh,
and
the
randomly,
seer.
for some peculiar, strange reasoning in her head, she chose to pick Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Which just changed everything.
It changed the
for
whole
all of
game. You know, it flipped it on its head completely.
Do you think if she hadn't got Charlotte, do you think Charlotte would have won? Did any of you suspect Charlotte as being a traitor?
I think Charlotte would have won, absolutely. I think by the end, Charlotte was so trusted by everybody, you know. I didn't trust Charlotte in the beginning, and then she really proved herself as a faithful for me, for Jake. You know, we all trusted her so much. So if the seer never happened, I do believe that she would have won, because I just never would have thought that she was a traitor.
Never have accused her, no.
Never.
And then that end around the fire where you had to put it in your bag and then the puff of smoke came out. You banished Frankie. Do you wish you hadn't done that now? Is the part of you that thinks, gosh, were you 50-50, or did you really think...
Yeah, do you know, the moment that changed it for me was the final round table, you know?
Right.
Like, it really breaks my heart watching it back. I so wish things were different. But, you know, going into the end game, the only thing I had in my mind at that moment was that final round table, and with, you know, Charlotte defending herself like a true traitor should, you know, till the very end.
Of course.
You know, the moment she said, you can't trust this woman, you can't take her to endgame, that was going over and over in my head, and it just planted those seeds of doubt. You know, she mentioned that she thought it was Frankie and Alexander who were the traitors, and, you know, looking back and the conversation I had with Charlotte, just as Frankie told her she was a traitor, she was so upset. And it breaks my heart to see anybody upset. So she was just so convincing.
Yes, she was brilliant.
So convincing.
And not Welsh at all. I remember your mum is,
Far
but
from
yeah. So congratulations on the money as well.
Yeah,
you and Jake are splitting an awful lot of money. Has
Yeah.
the money... Because you have to wait for the show to air before you get your winnings. Has it arrived yet?
No, not yet, not yet.
What are you going to do with it?
Oh, gosh, well, of course I mentioned I'd love to have another baby. I'd love to try for IVF again, give my little boy a little sibling. And also, we've got a wedding to plan now. I got engaged back in August, which is just the best feeling.
Look at you there, gorgeous family.
They are beautiful little boys.
They're just amazing, and they're just warriors, and they don't even know it.
No. So something towards the family, something towards the wedding.
Maybe another little brother and sister.
Yeah, treat the family. My mum deserves it.
And you had to keep it a secret all the way from... When did you finish? May?
Yeah, it's been a long
May
time.
all the way through till now, so finally you can talk about it. We've loved it. You were brilliant, Leanne. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thrilled to bits for you and for Jake, and good luck for the future as well.
Oh,
hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Lucy Punch and Philippa Dunn join us now Good morning and congratulations.
Thank
Because
you.
it's just, I watched it last night, first episode, it was just brilliant.
Oh,
so
thank
well
you.
done.
Yeah.
So where does Amanda Lamb pick it? So is it like a couple of years down the line?
Yes, it's 2 or 3 years, and Amanda is post-divorce, and she's had to downsize.
Yep.
She's left behind this life of privilege, and
Life has changed.
life has changed considerably. And
Struggle is real.
the struggle is real, but it is. She's now a single mother to 2 teenage
Yep.
children, and that's no mean feat. And she's up sticks, and she's now in South Harleston, which she has rebranded Soha because she thinks that sounds more glamorous. And she has been reunited with her BFF.
Her long-suffering
Her
friend.
long-suffering BFF, and that she couldn't survive without.
And yet abuses her on...
Abuses her, but it's out of love. And it's this very dysfunctional, codependent relationship is reignited, and
Yeah.
she needs Anne. Anne is sort of helps
does
her.
need Anne, that's
she
the thing.
I mean, she needs Anne more than Anne needs her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because Anne might have 90,000 children, but she still needs Amanda to kind of give her a bit of focus in life and kind of give her someone to fuss over and to obsess over and to kind of aim to be.
What I love about Anne is the good in all of us, isn't she? Because she does see, like, she gives you so many chances.
That's like Philippa in real life.
Oh, is it?
It really is.
Well, we just saw you talking beforehand.
Yeah.
This is a genuine friendship that you both have, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, it is. And
So
we,
it must have been lovely just getting back to doing what you love doing.
It was, and it was funny because when we did Motherland, we would, even the first series, we'd be sort of in the deep background in the coffee shop, and we'd be sort of chatting away and slipping in and out of character, and we'd had a sort of like fantasy idea about her. There should be a spin-off.
Yeah.
We thought it should be Ananda. Ananda.
Yeah.
We'd discussed it for years, how and planned it, and anyway, when it did come about, we were both very surprised, but absolutely thrilled.
What does that feel like? It's like literally you visualised the dream. Both of you.
Well, yeah, like manifestation is real, you know? So
It really is.
yeah, but like we clicked the minute we met, and we always knew that there was something in the relationship between Amanda and Anne that was just captivating. And we thought, like, you could just mine it for years and days and weeks and months. So we thought, it's a wasted relationship. You really should see more of these people because they love each other in such a weird way and they need each other in such a strange way. But, yeah, so we thought we could do some more of it.
I mean, the great thing about Motherland is you could say that with so many characters, because you wanted to know more about everyone. And the scenes were so kind of sort of quick and it was 30 minutes, so it's like rapid fire. It's so great. How quickly after Motherland did you know this was going to happen?
Gosh, I have a very bad memory.
Me too.
Like, did you roll straight into it?
No. It sort of came about, and it was sort of talk about it, but I didn't know if it was real.
Yeah.
You go, yes, wonderful, we'll see, see if it really does, happen, and here we are.
Yeah.
Sitting on your sofa,
And you're
telling you all
working
about
with
it.
the legendary
Oh, my goodness,
Joanna
the
Lumley.
dream.
Can I just say, the resemblance between you and her is uncanny,
I mean,
actually.
that is the greatest compliment of my life.
It really is. It's just such a perfect match. She must be a dream to work with.
She is, and she's been here, I think, many times, and she's just exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
She's marvellous,
She's
isn't
fabulous and warm
Never lets
and
you down, does
gorgeous.
she?
No,
It's like-
no, she's just...
Is she very professional as well? Is she across her lines? Is she all over
Stop.
it?
She knows your lines. She knows
yes,
her own
she does.
lines.
She really does.
Oh, ultimate.
Yeah, she
yeah.
wants to, do you need... And she's so, if you want to run lines, and she's just on it, and she's a dream.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me how many takes it took you to get that football on your head?
Do you know, we did that. We had about didn't have long at the end
No,
of the day.
it was a
so
rush.
I had some man off camera.
Literally kick a ball at your head?
Yes.
How many times did you do it? And did you get any concussion at the end?
No, I didn't. But it was the fall. It was a lot of mud, wasn't
It was a lot of mud. It was very cold. It was a time crunch.
Yeah.
It had to be
It
done.
looks so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
It looks so
It was
good.
very serious, wasn't it? It was like, we've got to get this.
And again, and do it again, and go again, and do it again, and fall again, and hit her again.
We've got no time.
I tell you what I loved about it, Al, is the fact that there seems to be a whole new cast of characters that immediately I'm into. So, I mean, it's so
Brilliant.
well written, isn't
Yes,
it?
the
Because you're just
yeah.
there going, OK, and she's got this kind of, like, not even love-hate, but it's just kind of like relationship with a neighbour who she kind of gaslights on a daily basis about charging her car, and the neighbour's trying to get his van out. You got that. You've got these great mums with Siobhan McSweeney.
Who's incredible, and Rashenda Sandal, and we've got the new cast are really incredible.
But you're in straight away watching it.
Yes.
That's what I loved about it.
Yes, good.
Like you get the
It's the
dynamics.
same sort of feeling that you get when you watch Motherland, Joe.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think we have kids the same age.
OK. I have a 4-year-old.
Yeah, so you start to kind of... Now's the time where you start to go, oh, no, I get it.
I get it now, yeah.
But we're dealing with
it,
teenagers
yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Different,
I get it.
My kids are still not quite there yet, but that's a whole different world. And so that's what they're...
Yeah. Amazing. We're very excited because, number one, it actually starts on my birthday. Just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
It's the 5th of February,
Yes.
9 p.m. on BBC One. Amandaland. Yeah. Don't miss it.
Congratulations.
Great, thank you. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
This is such a great idea, Michelle.
Really, really exciting.
Where did it come from?
Well, it came from the movie, clearly. So I had an idea to turn it into a musical.
Because it's a fair question because it's not a musical.
Well, there's a lot of things that are adapted into musicals because it just makes sense. And if you think about the cult following of this film, it makes sense that you would turn that story into a musical. And the good thing about what they've done with it is, if you remember the film, it's a really, really important film to me on many levels, but it always spoke to the weirdos and the misfits and the outliers. And I think that's why it was so important as such a cult following. So at the end, you left with a feeling of sadness. You wanted to help Edward, and you wanted to take him in, and you wanted to adopt him. You wanted to...
Absolutely.
You rooted for him. Well, at the end of our musical, you feel joy. You feel happiness. You don't feel sadness. It's that kind of a show.
Yeah, because it's a sad film.
When I heard that there was going to be a musical, my first thought was, Michelle Visage is going to be in it. But you're not. You're actually producing it. Yes. So how are you finding? What sort of producer are you? Do people love you? And do you find it quite pressurising being a producer?
Well, I hope they love me. But I'm there as somebody who is in the theatre. I'm there as a theatre person.
Because you know about the theatre.
Know about the theatre, love the theatre. My university degrees in musical theatre. It's my passion. It's my first love. So I was meant to be in it, and schedules would not allow. So the director and creator, writer, Bradley Redewig, he said, do you want to produce it? And I said, absolutely. What do I have to do?
What does it involve, producing? Because I have no idea, because I'd like to produce a few things, but I don't know. What do you do as a producer?
You'd be great at it.
Do you have to put some money down?
Sometimes you do.
A dollar?
Maybe sometimes $1, maybe sometimes a shilling. I don't know. In this case, it's more about bringing who I am and my knowledge of musical theatre and my knowledge of this movie and this show in particular, and loving music and giving my opinions and my thoughts and notes. No giving's fun.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, but they really don't need it because this cast and crew is fully formed. It was a sold-out run in Los Angeles, and they brought a whole bunch of them over here, along with British performers and people of the like, to put on this musical.
What about the music? Tell us about the music they have.
So I think a lot of people think jukebox musical, I'm out, not my thing. And that's me. I don't love a jukebox.
Why? Same.
I don't know. There's the musical theatre purist snob in me likes to have original music.
Stuff, I'm with you.
Right. But the way that the music is tied into the narrative for this changes the game for jukebox musicals, right? Lady Gaga, Alanis Morissette, Belinda Carlisle, all plays into the narrative of it, I promise you, because that's the way that I think. And there's a brand new original song in it written by the one and only Pat Benatar and her husband, Neil Giraldo, and it's called Beautiful Weirdos, and people will leave singing this song.
We were talking about the fact that...
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Quality.
Yeah, 80s.
Any Madonna? No Madonna.
You'll have to wait and see.
Oh, because we were talking about the fact that you won a lookalike competition of Madonna, which makes sense, at 16.
When I was 16.
Have you ever met her? Is she a friend yet?
She is not my friend.
Oh.
But Alison, I don't know how you feel about this. You know, you
don't want to meet your idol.
And I've met a few, and they've let me down, and I've met a few, and they're my friends. She is one I want to stay on her pedestal and remain there. I don't want...
Look at you two.
I know.
I mean, is that you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm the one not singing at an arena with the goat cheerleaders. Yeah, just FYI.
How can we tell the difference?
Thank you, Dermot. Thank you.
You and Belinda are friends, though, aren't you?
Yeah, and she was my first ever
Who
idol.
you met?
When I met Belinda, honestly, I wish my mother was here to see me text Belinda and be like, hey, Queen, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm in LA, because she lives in Mexico now. You want to go for lunch? And I'm like, am I really going out to lunch with Belinda Carlisle? She was my first, because she was before Madonna, wasn't
The thing about Belinda Carlisle as well is you play her songs now on the radio or in a DJ set, and the place goes like, and not just one or two, like you know, the whole back catalogue. She's so good.
She's incredible.
And she's a lovely, lovely human being.
And obviously, you're a singer as well.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know about that, though. You was a singer, and you was on the Bodyguard soundtrack. You got an actual mention in that, didn't you?
So I was in a girl group from 1989 to 1991 called Seduction, who had huge, you know, we had 4 top 10 hits in the States. We charted here as well. And then in 92, I ended up recording an album and a song for Arista Records. Clive Davis signed me. The group was called Soul System. I was on top of the pops here. And the song, It's Gonna Be a Lovely Day, we did a remake of Bill Withers.
Yeah.
And Clive chose that. That's it. There it is.
Tune.
Clive chose that song to be in The Bodyguard. It was the only non-Whitney song that made it into The Bodyguard, the movie. And then I was track 9 on The Bodyguard.
And you got credit for that.
I did. It's me. That's me.
Incredible.
That's me a long time ago, kids.
You look...
Before children, before life took its toll on me.
Babes, you're still rocking it.
Oh, I love
you're
you,
still rocking it.
1 year on the X Factor, Clive Davis came over and did a masterclass. And you know, when someone like that walks in the room, it is a moment, isn't it? I mean, what was he like?
To know, first of all, I was 22.
Right.
To walk into a room knowing that I was going to meet the Clive Davis, who made so many careers. I mean, Whitney's just one of.
Yeah.
Barry Manilow, like the list goes on and on of the stars. So you know you're walking into a star maker. I didn't know what he was going to think of me. And they brought me in as a face for a reason. And he said, oh, you're a star. I'm signing you right now. And I was just like, oh, this is it, guys.
That's what you want to hear.
Look out, Madonna. That did not happen.
Madonna who?
Right. However, I am humbled that I got to meet that legend.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you're into everything, aren't you? You like radio, TV presenter.
Yeah, we're radio
Drag
brethren,
race.
aren't we?
You like him? Do you dance like him in the studio?
That's a lot better than I do.
But I do dance
Do you
like
do the
that.
same sort of thing?
You're alone in there. So when the music moves you, you stand up. Yeah, you don't care.
Program the whole show around the second
That's exactly what I do. I play the music that makes me want to get up and have a booth by myself.
Well, that's the nice thing about that show, right? Is you get to play the music you want to play.
Yeah.
Listen, thanks for coming in.
We're very excited.
Lovely to see you.
Tickets are actually on sale now for Scissorhands, the musical. How do I say it?
Say it. Oh, you try.
Southwark.
Oh, darn it.
Southwark Playhouse Elephant. They're available right now.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
And Anne and Jenny join us now. Good morning, ladies. I have to say, my dad is the biggest fan of your shows. Why do you think people are such devoted? I mean, he watches it every single day.
I think because everyone's dad and everyone's mum watches it. Everyone has been introduced to it by someone's dad or mum.
Yeah.
I think it is very much a mum and dad show.
It's an amazing thing, Jenny, isn't it? And obviously, I've had experience of this because the way that Tipping Point and The Chase sat together and ITV have created this amazing quizzing time, and with Lingo at 3 o'clock or Pictionary now as well, that a show like The Chase just becomes woven into the fabric of people's everyday lives. It's not, I don't think it's just a quiz show anymore. It's more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, the clock.
Yes.
You know when that music starts. As our friend Lucy says,
yes.
Her kids are expecting fish fingers and chips, the smell of fish fingers and chips when they hear the music for The Chase. It's part of the routine, and I think especially so when we were all in lockdown. People needed something to judge time by, and it was sort of the end of the working day. Everyone could sit down together. You could get on your WhatsApp group with the rest of your family and still play along like you would have done anyway. And so it's not a guilty pleasure anymore. It's part of the fabric of life, as you say.
And you must, Anne, because I get this a lot, and I know Bradley will as well, but you must get people coming up to you telling you about how your show has become so important to the family member, that there's somebody in their family that has experienced something, but the chase was always there for them, and you've become a really integral part of their family.
You do. I mean, I've just got back from Panto, so in fact it's Jenny, and when I was doing Panto in Scarborough, so many people would just come up to me randomly in the street and say, well, it's so lovely to meet you, and I'm coming to the Panto, and so much recognition, which was really, really nice.
It must have really changed your lives, though, in a personal way. In what way has it changed your life, Anne?
Well, money.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, definitely money. And, you know, just recognition and exposure and suddenly discovering I have millions of friends I didn't know about.
Yeah. And then, Jenny, you were originally working behind the camera on the show, first of all. And Anne, were you something to do with how Jenny then
Jenny was a question setter in the very first series.
Yeah, the pilot run, there were just 2 question setters. They obviously were just trying it out and not hopeful it would go on forever. In fact, the other person writing the questions is now an egghead. So it's very strange how this comes round. So I wrote those questions and set the show off on the road to success, and then Anne joined down the road and I was quizzing alongside Anne, and she had a little recommendation for me.
Well, she invited me to join her quiz team in Bolton. Right. So we quizzed together for a few years, and then I knew that they were looking for a new female chaser. And I was sort of thinking my way round the quizzing circuit and thinking, well, the obvious candidate really is going to be Jenny.
Yeah, obvious. And let's talk about the characters as well, because the governess, who's the governess based on?
She's based a bit on one of my horrible grandmother. Not the nice one, but the horrible one.
Right, OK.
And she's based on one of my aunts, who was also horrible.
Do any of your family recognise those traits? Do they say, have you based that on grumpy old so-and-so?
I don't know. I mean, I think probably the governess has ended up being nicer than both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, people... I've had people say that there's something about the governess that reminds them of Professor McGonagall.
Yes, there is a little bit of that.
Yeah, there may be an element of that.
And what about the vixen then, Jenny? Where did the idea of the vixen come from?
Well, the producers gave me quite a bit of leeway. They wanted me to create my own character.
Yeah.
So really, the vixen she's me, but the confident me that I can be. If I'm on stage singing a song, that suddenly this slightly different personality comes out, I feel stronger, more confident, and the costume actually really helps with that. Being able to put on almost a suit of armour, the glasses, the big hair.
Were there other iterations of her before you settled on the look that she is now?
A very slight sort of evolution into that, but I was quite involved in the design, actually. I sent lots of pictures, essentially, of Christina Hendricks in Mad Men.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
I thought, that's the kind of vibe I want, because she's a powerful
kick-ass,
woman.
Yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. But away from that, you're also singing. You've got all these different facets to your personality that are always complete opposites. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is one way that the chase has really changed my life, is that people want to hear me sing. I got to go on X Factor Celebrity, and I really enjoyed that, and it opened a lot more doors to me. It introduced me to a lot of people who can help me with that, and I get so much joy singing, and it's really lovely to find out that people get joy from hearing me sing.
Yeah.
And I get to share that now.
Oh, look at you on stage. You're just so glamorous and gorgeous, and you're such a brilliant performer, and I love it. I think one of the things that was really interesting about Beat the Chase, though, because the Chase is such a strong format, and I'm great mates with one of your execs, or a couple of your execs, Michael Kelpie, and I know that running the pilots to try and find Beat the Chasers was not... You went through a number of different iterations for this format as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it got to a stage where I started to think of Beat the Chasers as a sort of zombie show. I thought, we're never going to get this right. It will never work, and yet they will keep bringing it back.
It was always so close.
It was, and then... Towards the end of 2019, they were like, right, we want to do another run-through. I'm like, oh, another one. And we tried it out, and I thought, you know what, actually... this format works.
Because the idea was trying to get you all together, wasn't it? And what that might look like.
Yeah.
It's quite a dangerous thing to put all 6 of us together, though.
Oh, yeah.
The egos and the brain power, the competitive warm-up quizzing that goes on in the dressing room.
Oh, really?
Something to behold.
Well, I was going to ask you about how competitive it gets, and is there a spreadsheet involved? And who is in charge of it?
If there is, Mark Babette's got it.
Yeah, Mark will be on that.
Well, he used to be a maths teacher, and he's very keen on his statistics.
He loves stats. He loves to keep them. There's a a big stats fan online who keeps a lot of stats as well, but Mark's is it's very comprehensive, and you can measure how well we're all doing against each other, accuracy and speed. So it keeps us on our toes at least, but we don't read too much into it. We're family, really.
Naturally, you're all very competitive quizzes, and I always think it's fascinating watching you rush in to answer questions. And then when one of you gets a question wrong, which does happen occasionally, but it's the look on the other's eyes when you've got a question wrong and they knew the answer as well. How does that go down?
Yeah, I mean, that's embarrassing. It helps us to sort of realise what it is like for the team on the chase when, you know, the thing that trips them up is that they're not mind readers. They have to try and take a split second to work out, does anyone else know it? Does anyone have an idea? Is there someone who knows but is being slow on the buzzer? And, you know, that's what we have to start doing. So, for example, I tend to be the slowest on the buzzer. So, you know, I might know it. It might be a question that's right in my wheelhouse. Yeah. But you have to kind of look along the line and see, is Anne sort of slowly, sloth-like reaching for the buzzer?
She knows it.
Yeah.
She knows it.
Does she know it or not? Or is she actually about to mess up?
But the person who kind of hangs everything together is always Bradley. He does it with so much charm. He's so brilliant at it.
Absolutely is. I mean, he is absolutely central. He's crucial.
And the contestants love him, and he walks that line brilliantly, where it's like the drama, but also kind of the funny and keeping everybody comfortable.
He's a great people person, and he will always find that common ground with every single contestant. It doesn't matter how nervous they are. You don't see the full chat with each contestant. He's been talking to them for quite a while.
Wherever they're
from, like
he's been there.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah, he'll find a pub, or, you know, I know the main street there, or I've worked in that theatre, and he'll find some common ground, and it relaxes the contestant, and it means everyone's getting the best performance, and it's a masterclass, really, watching him work.
He's definitely got around, our Bradley, hasn't he? There's nowhere he's not been, he's not worked, he's not done all sorts.
All played, probably.
Has he forgiven you since you pranked him on Takeaway, though?
I think I've gone up in his estimation, because I don't think he thought I could act.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
I had to keep up that act all day. It was essentially, we staged it as if it was an ordinary episode, so all day everything had to be as normal.
Brilliant. It's brilliant. This, watching Brad Pitt and he storms off, that, and also the Midnight Game Show when he got done by Michael McIntyre and Fanny Schmeller turned up.
He wouldn't have known either.
No.
They did it on me and he didn't know.
Amazing.
On the Midnight Game Show, he definitely didn't know anything was going to happen because he actually hadn't got any clothes on.
Hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Oh, it's so good. We were texting each other, weren't we, as we were watching it? We are massive fans. Eve joins us this morning. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Thank you for having me.
It is just a phenomenal piece of television. It's twisty, it's turny, the characters are brilliant, the plot is amazing. Did you know you were onto a winner?
You never know if you're onto a winner, really. You just... I've said it a couple of times, that I think when you get older, you tend to kind of lean into your instinct more.
Yeah.
It's kind of your superpower. And my instinct was saying that this is something quite unique.
Yeah.
And different, and doesn't shy away from, you know, the subject matter. Yeah. And the writing was superb.
For me, what was really unique about it was your character, Jeanette, and how fully rounded she was as a woman of an age. Like, she's trying to solve a murder, she's trying to hang on to her marriage, she's doing all the juggles. Yeah. But you were funny as well. Like, it was such a brilliant, well-rounded character, and I feel like actually you don't get to play those very often.
No, you know, you mine your character as much as you possibly can to connect with your audience as much as you possibly can, but you've got to make them real people. Otherwise, it's just white noise, you know, and Millie has just done, the writer has just done the most superb job in kind of giving this character layer upon layer and trouble after trouble and things that she's got to commit to and sacrifice as a mother, as a, you know, a DCI. And it's a joy to play something like that. I mean, the premise in the story is, you know, it's a dark subject, ones that we don't shy away from at all, we completely commit to, but you've got to have light and shade in that. You've got to kind of come away from those dark moments and breathe a bit.
Yeah.
And I think Jeanette is the kind of character that allows you to have those moments of breath.
That relationship between your character and Jojo, her son, is so lovely.
Yes.
And there's lovely moments. Just a little trailer in that point where she's very open with him about what she's investigating a murder.
Yeah.
And he's a young lad. You said there's the sort of traits that your mum had when you were growing up, that your mum was pretty indiscreet about things in front of you as well.
Yeah, my mum was completely filterless.
Sounds like my mum. No.
You know, what she thought she said. And that's a great thing. I think that was an amazing quality of my mum's, because she always told me the truth. And I always knew, you know, what was going on was truth. So nothing was hidden.
And never shy away from anything.
No, I mean, she wasn't wandering the streets of Bristol trying to find who was killing young boys and stuffing them in bags by any means. But it's a really nice quality that Jeanette does share with my mum, is honesty.
Yeah. Yesterday, David Wilson, is our criminologist, comes in and we talk about all sorts of true crime, documentaries, actual crime.
So clever.
David studies this.
Yes,
studies
clever.
These sort of things. And he sat down and he said, have you watched The Crow Girl? It is one of the most compelling, brilliant bits of drama he's ever seen in that world. I mean, that's testament to the writing, the acting and everything. Particularly you and Dougray Scott as a team. He was talking about that. That must have been brilliant to work with Dougray on this.
An absolute dream. You know, going back to a film that was made years and years ago, there's a cult film in Wales called Twin Town.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I grew up on that. It was, you know, a staple in our house and in our university house. And then to work alongside Dougray was fantastic. He's such a professional. He's such a generous actor. But he's also somebody that, when you're on the floor with, you can throw anything at, and he just throws it back, and it's just a complete kind of game. A joy to work with him, and I hope to do so in the future. But that relationship is so dynamic and well written, and, you know, to play opposite him, you're just playing opposite
and complicated.
trust.
Brilliant and complicated.
And again, not perfect, flawed.
Yes.
You know, and interesting, dynamic. And once you've got something dynamic like that, you can go anywhere with it.
Yeah. And also, his character's great too, because we found out all these things. I'm not going to give too much away.
Yeah.
But he's still got this charm about him as well.
He's a real person.
Exactly.
You know, and everybody does what they do in this particular show for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason for everybody's actions.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So we've loved it, absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
And then when we were doing the research into the series, it suddenly became apparent that the executive producer was Slash from Guns N' Roses. I mean, if things can get even more surreal.
It was a cool job when I got the script. And then when I heard it was Slash was one of the exec producers, you know, being one of the biggest Guns N' Roses fans that ever lived.
How? Why?
Just because he was a huge fan. The book is a best-selling international novel. And he's always wanted to make it into a drama. And when it came about, he came along with the project to Buccaneer, to Tony Wood at Buccaneer, and became one of the exec producers. And he's been hands-on from word go. He did a set visit. He came down.
Did he?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, we shared a little bit of salmon and potatoes in a polystyrene box together.
I thought she was going to say sambuca. That's what I thought she was going to say.
Listen,
salmon.
I would have been up for that 100%. But he would have had to put up with me doing a lot of egg at time, which would have been really embarrassing.
Absolutely.
He was a really, really cool guy. I mean, they say don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Well, I did, and he was everything I'd hoped for.
Oh.
He was kind and generous. He had photographs of all the crew and the cast. But more importantly, he watched every daily that was sent to him on his tour bus. Of everything that we were shooting in Bristol, he was watching on his tour.
While he was on tour.
Yeah, committed and kind and generous. Yeah, a hero.
Amazing.
It says to be continued.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
Are we going to get some more? Please tell us we're going to get some.
There's 3 books, and we are.
You've gone really earnest all of a sudden.
Please, can we have some more Crow Girl, please?
My face has gone red, but I just want to say that it would be lovely. We'd be happy to do more. The response has been completely overwhelming, and we're so grateful to everybody who has responded and has spoken about it on socials. We are grateful to you for being so lovely watching it and giving this lovely review on it, and we hope to make some more. Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Amazing.
It's wonderful.
We
Thank you
need
for
more.
popping in.
We need
Lovely
more.
to see you.
Good.
Thank you. The Crow Girl is streaming now exclusively on Paramount Plus. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
hello.
you, guys.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Oh, I hope they don't wipe out Manhattan.
No, that would be rubbish.
Move over,
Yeah.
James Bond. There's a new action hero in town. Leading man Gabriel Basso joins us now. Do they wipe out Manhattan? Please say it isn't so.
I don't know. You'll have to watch.
They certainly could if they wanted to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you first read this script, did you imagine that it was going to be as hugely successful as it is?
No, because it's a subjective art medium. Like, you never know how people are going to react to it, how, the show's going to do. And when you're in it and you're making the show, you just sort of, it was a tough show to make. So
right.
the brutal scheduling, a lot of night shoots, and you're just sort of day to day at a time. And then, I'm psyched people liked it, but, you can't anticipate that level.
It becomes a thing, though, doesn't it, Gabriel? Because, of course, you make it and you can enjoy the process and it can be hard and brutal. And then it goes out and then all of a sudden Netflix turn around and they say, oh, gosh, it's doing quite well. Over 812 million hours of screening or streaming people have taken watching you play this character.
It is kind of nuts. Well, and especially when, time is the sort of only resource that we have.
The most valuable commodity, right?
Yeah, and people just sink it into the show. And you look at it, someone divided the amount of hours into years, and it was like 900-something years.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing. It's crazy. It's like you could have built a cathedral.
Yeah,
or
you
something.
did. You built a cathedral to Peter Sutherland. That's what you did. And you nearly didn't get the role because of a beard.
That's true,
Is that actually true?
Yeah, I think, in defense of Sean and the casting team and everything, they get thousands of tapes.
Of course.
So I think they're going initially off of the reaction of how they look, and then they saw me with a beard and were like, nope. And then, and then I grew one for season 2. So
yeah, exactly that.
So what can you tell us about season 2? Because obviously we've been gripped with season 1. So now Peter has been given a promotion. He's not sitting in the room anymore with the phone. He's saved the president. I mean, you've had a very busy time of it. You really have.
National hero.
I think Manhattan might be safe, actually.
Well, yeah.
Where is his head at now?
Well, he's not thinking about cheating on his wife. Like Jason.
Like Jason.
I still got a bone.
What about Rose, though? What about
That
Rose?
was Jason in our phone-in. Gabriel was listening to the phone-in. Yeah.
Dude, doesn't matter. Have some honor. Your word is your bond.
Maybe we can come back and get you to do a phone-in for something as well at some point,
Some
Gabriel.
hard love advice. I think I'd get arrested for the advice I give.
So where is your character season 2?
It's his first field deployment. He's trying to find his footing, I guess, as a night agent, and he's working under or being guided by Brittany Snow's character Alice. So she's sort of showing him the ropes in Bangkok, and he's trying to figure everything out.
One of the things, like when Kat and I started working together to bond, to get to know each other a little bit better, we went out for lunch and we had a few too many drinks. You and your co-star in this, Rose, you did something slightly more extreme. When you
took her bungee jumping.
You took her bungee jumping. Was that an easy conversation?
Don't even think about it.
Easy.
She said no a few times, but I was like, it's in Whistler in Vancouver. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, they told me to just jump off there. But
wow.
So you just jumped. How did she get on?
I think they pushed her off because she wouldn't do it. Her knees locked up or something, and they had to sort of push her off. But it is a weird feeling because you're leaving. I do a bunch of skydiving stuff as well, but there's no dead air because you get, sort of pulled back by the wind. With bungee jumping or base jumping, you're leaving a platform and you have that moment of dead space.
Ground rush as well, right?
Yeah, so it is a little weird.
Did it work? Did it bond the two of you?
Did she like
I think
you
so.
afterwards?
I don't know. I don't know. It was fun though. She's definitely had a bit of an adrenaline high, I think. But bonding through trauma, nice.
It's a good way to do it.
But you love adrenaline. You love the adrenaline rush. You even want to do your own stunts. Have you watched people like Tom Cruise when he does all his own stunts? He hangs onto the side of planes and.
Yeah, and they work all that stuff out with someone beforehand to make sure he'll be alive.
Right.
They don't just throw him up there.
Important.
Is that what you're aiming for, though? That level of stunts?
No, I just think that I don't know why he does it, but for me specifically, the reason I want to do it is less to say that I can do my own stunts and everything, and more for the audience immersion factor of not having to hide anything. You know, like when you're watching it and, you know, I'm getting stuff thrown at me or whatever, slamming somebody onto a table, and it cuts away from me, I think the way I think about it is death by 1,000 cuts. Like, as an audience, you're subliminally being, something's being hidden from you. And I think you know that on some level, and there's only so many times you can do that before the audience goes, you know, what
That's not him, yeah.
Yeah, or what am I watching?
So it feels more authentic.
Yeah, or it's like watching a green screen fight. It's like at some point you just tune out and you're like, okay, I'm watching pixels.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't care as much, you know?
It's certainly very engaging, this series of Night Agent, because you can clearly see the commitment from all the cast in terms of that side of it. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Hillbilly Elegy, because, of course, you took a bit of time out from your acting, then came back with this role, and you played J.D. Vance's character, who has now just been sworn in as the new Vice President of America. That must have been a fascinating experience, because meeting J.D. Vance, the J.D. Vance that you played and back then is sort of a different man to the Vice President. Did you ever see that happening?
No, you know, it was wild, like, meeting him, first of all. But then for me, it's a crazy experience, because for now, all of human history or all of American history, I'll be forever sort of in his Wikipedia page, like portrayed by Gabriel Basso. So that's been kind of wild for me to think about, that I played a politician. And then also, it's weird to think I don't know anything about vice presidents.
Right.
You know, like, when's the last time? Everybody knows the name, but no one knows anything about them. And then the one that, you know, people, I guess, know about, you can watch a movie about him.
Yes.
And it was made before he was vice president. So it's kind of a weird realization that, yeah, like, people know stuff more about him now because of me, in a way. It's kind of a weird feeling, but pretty
As
cool.
Ben said, you were acting when you were younger, and then you took a break. Why did you decide to take a break? What was it that you wanted to do?
Experience life, I think, and not in the, you know, that way, but in a. So I have my DSWA walling license.
What is
like dry stack walling, like y'all's
you build?
walls.
So like a plasterer?
No, like the dry stack walls that you guys have, like in the Cotswolds and everything.
Like
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife does this. She loves it.
Oh,
she went and
great.
did a course, like the old school craft.
Yeah, so
you can do dry stone walling.
Yeah, I got my walling license, and basically the way I think about it is it's a strange. Look, actors are insulated from reality in a lot of ways. And I remember I was getting a coffee. I was coming off a walling site. It was covered in dirt, and this guy recognized me in his coffee shop, and he's like, "The night agent? You know, are you the night agent?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "What's all the dirt from? Like, are you in wardrobe or costume?" And I was like, "No, I'm working." And he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm 20. I was 28 at the time. I was like, I'm 28, and you're asking me why I'm working? Like, there is something that I think is wrong in today's day and age where I can retire at 30 years old. I don't think I should be able to. I think that it's my responsibility to work as a man. You know, you get a trade, you become self-sufficient, and it feels wrong for me to go through life with people getting me water. You know, it feels wrong. I'll do that when I'm old and I can't get up from the couch.
Sure.
You know? But right now, it's like, you meet a 30-year-old man who's never been in a fight, who doesn't have a trade, who doesn't have, who's not contributing anything to society other than acting.
Yeah. You've got a strong work ethic, a strong ethic, full stop. So are you available for dry stone walling in case any of our viewers...
I'm building a house at the moment, so I could do with it.
Yeah, I don't live here in England.
No, but you know, it'll be interesting to get the night agent to do your dry stone walling.
I don't know how much time he's got on his hands.
Yes, you're a bit
he's
busy at the
saving
moment.
Manhattan, and he's about to shoot Series 3.
Come on, Jason, dude. Don't cheat on your wife, man.
Don't
do it.
Our phone
you have kids, dude.
Gabriel, thank you for popping in.
Please.
Thank
it's great to meet you.
Thank you.
The Night Agent is out tonight on Netflix.
Yes, all on Netflix. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
What could it be?
Something's always about to go down.
What could it be? The stars of the hit series The Good Ship Murder, Shane Wood and Catherine Tilsley, join us now.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
I mean, talk about having a little bit of everything.
Absolutely everything, and that's the great thing about it. It's just taken from all the classics. We were just saying then, it's got a bit of Agatha Christie-esque to it, Death in Paradise,
Heart to Heart.
Heart to Heart. So it's a real fun, light-hearted crime drama.
But Kath, is set on a cruise ship.
Yes.
Which must have its drawbacks, its advantages, but its drawbacks as well.
Well, there's nearly 6,000 people on board.
6,000 extras.
6,000 extras working cruise ship. So, but I mean, that's what makes it so special.
Yeah.
And what was great this season is that a lot of passengers had seen season 1. And, they were all like, oh, can we be in the back of shop? Is anybody going to get murdered?
Even people who haven't even seen it, they recognise the ship.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are the chances if we book again, we might get on it? And then they are. So it's great.
Well, it means that you can just have fun with it as well. If you're on holiday, you just kind of buy into it all. And for you, it's kind of great because you get to combine the acting, seeing the world as well, with the singing.
I know. It's unbelievable. When I landed this role, it was everything. It was kind of like My Greatest Showman, in a way. You know what I mean? So I got to play an ex-detective, and then he leaves the force and decides to become a singer on a ship. And, of course, there we go. Some great songs at the end, some great classics.
And it tends to replicate what's gone on in the story.
I mean, the words of this song will kind of showcase exactly what happened with the thrill of the chase and the episode.
So your character is one of the cabaret entertainers. He's the main star of the cabaret, isn't he?
Yes.
Your character, Kath, just explain a little bit where she fits in, because she's not a singer and a dancer. She's very serious. She's
Yeah, they're polar opposites, chalk and cheese. I play Kate Woods, and she is the first officer on the ship, and she's very straight-laced, loves rules, very methodical, mathematical, whereas Jack is the opposite. But they work so well with each other because they're bringing different things to the table, and also Jack then kind of gets Kate to loosen up a little bit and shows her that there's more to life than just work.
Exactly.
And we've had some really fun stuff to film this season. It's been really good, hasn't it?
Well, that's one of the most interesting things to watch, I think, when you see you guys and your chemistry, because obviously you know each other in real life too, so there's an ease with it. I think as you're...
Literally. The fact that is not even there right now, I have no idea.
But then Mia comes along, who's Jack's daughter,
my daughter,
and then she tries and separates you up.
She absolutely brilliant, Millie. She just completely slotted in, and the way she played it was fantastic. Straight away she's thinking, who is this other woman?
Yes.
That's my dad. Back off.
Because there's that ongoing, is it going to happen?
Yes,
is she finally
they
going
will,
to relax
they won't,
and let it happen? We want, as viewers, we want them to get together because they're such a great team.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we love that. We love playing with that. And it is what hooks people in. And every time we picked a script up, we were like, is it? What's going to happen? And it is frustrating for both characters. I'd say more so for Jack, because Kate just keeps putting the Ice Queen act back on, and
I'm always seen as the bad guy. Like I've done something wrong, Ice Queen.
There is something, isn't there? What we know, so obviously, Shane, of course, we know you as a fabulous singer. People might not be as aware, Kathy, you're a wonderful singer as well. You've just done your tour as well, the musical tour. When are we going to see Kate and Jack sing together?
Yes. Oh, it's funny you should say that.
Yeah, because there could be something.
Might be a little bit of something.
In one of the episodes.
You're the one that won? Oh, that would have
been good, wouldn't it? Tell me about it.
What else did they do?
Try and clear that one.
Bit of Renata.
Slowly turning it into a bit of a glee.
Yeah.
But you would love, you'd be keen to do some singing on the show as well, right?
I think Kate is very much not a singer.
No.
And when the idea was put forward, would Kate sing? I was like, well, it would have to be in the right scenario.
So it does happen then?
And the way, the way they've written things, it's cute. It
is cute, yeah.
But I mean, the cherry on top of the cake is Shane singing at the end of each episode.
It really is fun. It is fun.
I never get bored of you singing. You make me cry every time.
I get bored of loads of other things about him, but not the singing.
The rest of the time you do my head in, but your singing's great.
No, because you sung at her wedding.
I did.
You even?
I did.
Like, that's how much she loves you singing.
Yeah, that was awesome. What song was it that I did?
Butterfly Kisses, Bob Carlyle, and it's mine and my dad's song. Anybody with kids, listen to it on your own. You'll be in bits. It's a beautiful song, and you did it so wonderfully.
bless you.
And
Thank you.
Everybody was just crying their eyes out.
20 years, Shane, this year, since you and I first worked together and you won the X Factor.
I know.
I mean, we've not changed, obviously.
You look great.
Look at
He's
us
got
there.
hair.
Oh, my
He's got
gosh.
hair.
Baby faces.
Just
Oh, my goodness.
Can you believe it's 20 years?
20 years. How's that flown past? And Adam's at the Arndale Centre, which is where you were working when you auditioned for the X Factor.
That's right. I was working in a shoe shop.
And Kath, you worked there as well.
I worked in athleisure.
In
We didn't know
We
this,
didn't. We
did
didn't know. New Look was my last job before I got into the industry. So who would have thought? Top and tail.
Wow.
Amazing.
And now you're sailing the world.
We are sailing the world.
I mean, it
solving
must be great
mysteries.
to just sail around as well and see places.
It is. It's so good because we literally can go to these amazing destinations. Because obviously the next episode is, it's set in Madeira.
Yes.
And that
Can't
is
wait to
just,
see it.
it's going to be great. And it's just focused around this character called Max King, who's a ruthless vineyard owner.
TV chef.
Yeah.
He is a TV chef.
Yeah. Phil Vickery, he
Yes,
goes on
exactly.
cruises a lot.
So we've got to solve another mystery there.
Yeah, Phil doesn't drink quite as much as Max does. Thank you
quite.
both for coming in
Thank
and
you.
sharing the joy with the puppies as well. You've given them
stop
that.
it.
Best morning. I had Elvis.
So cute.
So cool.
Little cuddle with Elvis.
I did have a
Wakes
couple
up
of
every day.
Elvis, it was.
Love you to see you both. Thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in. The Good Ship Murder continues on Friday, 9 o'clock on Channel
Thank you
5.
for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.